Today we are going to be trying to be turning this lovely man right here into some form of a decent DPS. We're going to be doing that with the lovely help of Ciaccona here, who also could probably go DPS herself. I have no clue how this is going to go, but that was the whole reason I got Ciaccona, was to turn Aalto into a DPS, so it's time to somehow make that work. Before we do any of that though, we do have 2 10 pulls lying around, so since Ciaccona is still on the banner, I am going to be doing some more pulls. I don't know if we're near pity or anything, but hell yes. I think that was guaranteed. I'm pretty sure we were at hard pity or soft pity. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is guaranteed. Okay, perfect. Well, I didn't plan on getting another copy of Ciaccona because I kind of forgot where we're at, but good start to the video. That is going to help out our Aalto probably quite a bit. Thank you, very, very lovely Ciaccona. That is S2, I believe. It is in fact S2, which is actually going to be really, really good because during her Resonance Liberation, which we're going to want to throw out all of the time because it does some really big damage and also buffs arrow, this will increase all of the team members' arrow damage by 40%. That is going to be super, super, super useful. Let's just do this last 10 pull on Ciaccona's banner. I have no hope we're going to get anything exactly like that, but you know, it was worth a shot. Now, actually, one thing I do want to look at, do we have enough? We have so close. 358. We need 360 to buy another copy of either Carlotta or Ciaccona. Do I have any? I do have some of them. Okay, we can do this. We can get 2 5 stars today, even though I wasn't even planning on getting 1. I just wanted to quickly get these pulls out of the way because we had them, and I'm going to be going away for a mountain bike race. That's another 5-star that I didn't expect. Okay, awesome. But yeah, I was going to be going away, so I wouldn't be here when the banner ends, so I just figured I might as well get these pulls done now. Okay, no, we were kind of far into pity with this weapon banner, so that was actually probably soft pity. Now, let me check. This will give us, after casting her basic attack stage 4, additionally grants 1 segment of Music Essence Resonance skill that gains 1 more charge. That one basically means we get 1 more charge of the skill, and her forte bar thing gets an extra charge whenever we do her basic attack number 4. So that'd mean that the forte bar, this thing, would fill up quicker. I believe that's what that's doing, so basically more damage. Carlotta's S4, on the other hand, after casting any variation of her heavy attack, grants all resonators in the team 25% resonant skill damage bonus for 30 seconds. So that's gonna buff everyone's damage. This is gonna buff Ciaccona's damage. You know what? I'm going to go with Carlotta because Ciaccona is going to be on a full team with all 3 of these guys. Carlotta will only have 2. This will boost Chisha's damage from her, whatever the thing's called, her skill charge stuff. Plus, it'll get Carlotta closer to S6, which if we're going to be only using her with 1 character, then that is going to help. We're going to go in here and we are going to buy a copy of Carlotta. Yes, we are not focusing on Carlotta today, but that is fine. We have the stuff, so boom, there we go. Carlotta can now go up to S4. Also, we have sold out of Carlotta's thing. I didn't even realize that, but we can't buy any more of Carlotta's wave bands, which is actually kind of good because that means that I can spend all of these in the future on Ciaccona or any other new 5 stars. So now, with those pulls out of the way, we now have an S2 Ciaccona, an S4 Carlotta, and yet again another one of the static mists, which brings the total static mist count on this account up to 8. Well, let's get back on track with the video and work on this team. We don't need to touch Mortifi. I mean, I don't think his echoes are great, but they are, yeah, they're something. They'll do. His fortes are maxed out, and he's kind of just here for off-field damage. Aalto, I do need to do some work too. I think I'm actually going to use him on Static Mist. I could use Carlotta's weapon, but I think I'm going to do Static Mist just because it gives ER. But I'm going to look at his echoes first and I'll see what I'm lacking. If I need more crit rate or crit damage, then I'll decide weapons from there. In terms of his echoes, we do want the arrow set. I'm going to assume we want this one rather than this one because he doesn't inflict enemies with arrow erosion. He just does arrow damage. So this would make the most sense. And in terms of pieces for that, we do not have a whole lot. I do not particularly find the echo leveling up process very fun, but it's just something we have to do. But that will be the only thing I need from Aalto, because his fortes are also fully maxed out, so I just need to deal with his echoes. That actually looks like a really good piece. I like that. We do not have anything else. I think double arrow is going to be the best bet. Well, if we look back through the pieces now, we don't have any more arrow damage that is not this specific echo. So I think I am going to be going with an arrow attack if I can find an attack piece that rolls well. Okay, apparently not. So I guess we're going to have to go with this. Not my favorite, but it will do. And then again, for the one cost, just very simple, a double crit, all that stuff. Hopefully we get something good. We have an unhealthy amount of these one cost pieces, so I'd assume we'd be able to get something. Ooh, I don't love it, but it does have ER, which is good. So it'll work, I guess. Oh my god. I don't think that could have rolled like any worse. Please hit crit rate. It's not a good piece, but please. Oh, for God's sakes. I don't like this. I do not like leveling up echoes because we have so many of them, yet they all seem to roll horrendously. And yes, I know I'm annoying so many people by leveling up the echoes the way I level them up, but I have this very lovely superpower on this account called Endless Resources. So I just do whatever is quickest and easiest. I honestly rather use echoes that roll kind of bad to level up other ones, because my echo inventory is consistently always ill. It is always full. I have to just completely just delete echoes, like not even, exchange them for anything. Just delete echoes all of the time because I have no room in there. It is always maxed out. So if I can at least use an echo to maybe roll a better piece, I'm going to do that, because at least the echo went somewhere usable rather than just being completely trashed. And we don't get anything awesome. Well, this is going to be our best piece. It's not great, but oh well. So I just need to find a 4 cost. Now there is probably a nightmare version of this guy lying around somewhere. I do not know where that is or if it does exist, but I cannot be bothered to go find it and try to get a good piece from that right now, so we're just going to use what we've got. Well, this is the last piece that could be decent, so I'm going to annoy everyone by putting it all the way to level 25, and then inevitably seeing it roll really bad. Indeed, awesome. Well, this is going to be our best piece. I do not love it. That's just got crit rate with more crit rate, which means he's going to have no crit damage. Indeed, I think I am most certainly going to be using Carlotta's weapon. It isn't great, but we increase attack % by 12 every time we use a intro skill or resonance liberation, and resonance skill damage is increased by 48%, which I think is good. I don't remember what's counted as resonance skill damage. Actually, I don't think much of his kit is based off of skill damage, but that does put his crit damage up a bit higher, so I think that's gonna do. It's not my favorite build by any means, but it is good enough. So there is our Aalto build. Next up, we need to deal with Ciaccona. She doesn't need too much in terms of leveling. I do need to quickly fix your fortes. That can go to level 10. So can that one. And then I'm probably going to need to do maybe some runs of this. Actually, it doesn't look like it. Just need to buy a whole ton of those and level up all of this stuff, because I would like to get her all the way maxed out, which with no problems, boom, there we go. So there is Ciaccona's fortes all maxed out. Now I just need to deal with your echoes, which are fine, I believe. That's good. That's meh. That's good. That's good. That is good. So I think if I can try to get a better arrow damage here with double crit, that's about all we really need to do. And then we can go see how this team performs. Now, I have been doing a decent amount of farming for these arrow damage pieces, so I might be able to get something. Okay, I just went to level 25 on the first one because I felt like it, and boom, there we go. It doesn't have ER, but it has double crit, skill damage, and resonance liberation damage, so easy peasy. That was about the easiest echo leveling up I have ever done. So Ciaccona is done now, which means that this team is all ready to go to do some testing and see what we can do. I have no clue what we're going to do rotation wise, but I do believe we want to get these things out. So I think we do like a normal attack to normal attack to get all of the forte up. So we do the forte thing, maybe throw out an echo, then do a resonance liberation to get the arrow buff, and then we swap to Aalto to do damage. Ciaccona will be doing a bunch of damage from all these attacks, and then swapping over to Aalto, we can do a bunch of damage from him. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. Also, if I am doing any of this building wrong, or if you could think of some different builds or rotations or anything else like that, do let me know. So now I just got to figure out where I'm going to test her out, which I think I want a good boss. You know what we could do? We could go do this. I'm going to say probably this dragon. We could probably do either Lorelei or Fleur-de-Lis. Probably Fleur-de-Lis. And we could probably just do some runs against this, considering I haven't even done it once. We can get some damage testing out, and we can also get some more Astrite from this. Now, I'm pretty sure the Fleur-de-Lis boss doesn't have too many weird gimmicks, which is why I chose her. So this should be pretty easy to get a good damage test. We're seeing some 1800s, some 1700s, 2Ks from the basic attacks. If we throw out a skill, we see, I think it was maybe 11 from there, or 1000, something like that. This charge attack is doing hits of 1000. There's a good couple hits there, so not bad. Not bad. Her burst does do quite a bit of damage though. If we throw this out, boom. Didn't even see that damage. When I've been using her in teams farming, it did like upwards of like 93k, I believe. So Ciaccona's damage herself is okay. Let's have a look at that burst. What is it doing damage-wise? Boom. So now let's have a look at Aalto's damage. I don't know what to expect, but let's have a look here. Do his fancy skill thing. We're doing like 4k off the normal attacks. Yeah, about 1000 off that. Throw out his burst, does 7000. I mean, the individual numbers aren't anything crazy, but there is quite a lot of it, so I think that makes up for it. Because there is like a lot of numbers happening, especially once we get this out and we do some dashes through Aalto's thing. There is quite a few numbers happening, but yeah, they're not massive, I will say that. I also don't know if the Fleur-de-Lis boss has any resistances or buffs or anything. I wouldn't imagine so. I would like to actually go over to our very lovely and somewhat painful Tower of Adversity. I think once we get some more copies of some characters, this will be a lot easier. If we can get one more 5-star with a decent build and a decent amount of, 110,000. Decent amount of wave bands, then we probably will have enough characters for this, like 1 5-star per floor. Will probably be good. 22,000 there. But until then, I don't think there's enough damage between the characters we currently have to be able to clear all 3 of the towers. However, with Carlotta being as built as she is, and this team being good enough, it's okay. The damage is pretty good, especially for multiple enemies where there's going to be lots of numbers happening. 118,000. That's nice. We like to see that. That's some pretty solid damage. So either the buffs in here are really good, or Fleur-de-Lis had some form of arrow resistance, which, considering Carta-Thea is an arrow character that also has the Fleur-de-Lis form of the same person, that could very well be the case. It's a good enough team if we can manage to get through one of these sides. It's definitely not going to be good enough to do the whatever the one in the middle is, the hazard chamber or whatever it's called, but that is perfectly fine considering that is quite difficult, and this team is basically built up of supports and sub DPSs. We don't really have any DPS characters on this team, so not doing as much damage as Carlotta makes a lot of sense. Ooh, 27 I believe there from Aalto's burst. I know that does not sound like a lot of damage, but considering how much damage he was doing, it's okay. I was honestly kind of hoping for a little bit more damage out of Aalto, but I was just looking at all the numbers just then, trying to sort of add them up in my head. And we're definitely not doing like bad damage if you compare it to other sub DPS-esque characters. Obviously, if we're comparing it to like Carlotta, yeah, there's no real comparison there, and we are not going to be able to do this. We don't have enough damage. That is a bit of a shame, but it is honestly kind of expected. So I feel like there's probably something I could do to that team. I'm not really too sure. I'm sure someone will let me know if there is something, and I would very much appreciate that because I feel like it could be okay, but I don't know if there is too much else I can really do to it. And otherwise, just getting more copies of Ciaccona would probably be a good thing. And that will happen over time as she reruns. I do eventually want to get all these pistol characters to S6 because, I mean, there's only 2 5-stars so far, so it shouldn't be too hard to get everyone to S6. Yeah, no, just look how significantly better this team is compared to the other one. Because we had 2 enemies plus a boss, and we cleared it in a minute 30 with only 2 characters. And this one, we had just 1 boss, 3 characters, and we didn't even manage to get 3 stars on it. yeah, that Cheshire and Carlotta team, a lot better than the Ciaccona team, which again, completely expected. We've got 2 DPSs versus 3 support / sub DPSs. It would be nice to get this team to do a little bit more damage though. I guess to finish off the video, we have 723 Astrites. Let's do some more pulls for Ciaccona. Maybe we can get something. I don't have a lot of hope because we did just get something, but it will be a kind of cool way to finish the video off. Do we see anything kind of nice? We do not, as expected. I mean, it's not bad. This team definitely does work. It'll clear some stuff. I feel like we could definitely do a little bit more work and make these characters a little bit better. But in terms of just overworld stuff, if I'm just running around, we do enough damage to easily clear overworld stuff, no problems. I mean, that's a pretty easy task, but still, it's a pretty fun team just to sort of run around and do overworld stuff with. If I was going into the Tower of Adversity, I think I would need to do a couple changes to make it a little bit more stronger. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you like this video, go check out the previous video, I believe, where we did all the pulls for lovely Ciaccona right here. Wasn't my best pulling session, but it was a pulling session. And with that, I'll see you all next time. Good. Bye.